Broadcasting live from sunny South Florida, and the best way to start your Saturday. This is KMA Talk Radio. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fine cigars. Your KMA crew, the Italian scallion Paul DeGracco, the man with the scoop, William Cooper, Alex the Goat Tavella, and always telling it like it is, honest Abe DeBatna.
I like to smoke them like the Winston Churchill, like John Kennedy, yeah. Remember Coach Red Auerbach, pumped up for victory, yeah. Well, you can take my wife, you can take my car, but you can't take my big cigar. My cigar.
Good morning to all our loyal listeners, libertarians, and lovers of the leaf. I am your host, Honest Abe, and we are broadcasting episode number 502 from sunny South Florida. And as always, I'm here with my gang, the man they call the GOAT, Alex Tavella, and the gentleman always bringing us the scoop, William Cooper.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome
Good morning.
back.
Wait, welcome back. Wait, we got three.
What's the odds that Paul is there? Fucking slim, and who cares?
This is a three-man show, okay? This is a three-man show.
I'm gonna have like a second intro made. That just omits Paul from the intro.
Special appearance by.
It'll get played more than the other or a normal intro.
No, he was actually supposed to be here, and then made some fucking excuse like 20 minutes.
It's having Wi-Fi issues.
Brr.
It's having Wi-Fi issues. Which, okay, granted, you have it, but with all due respect, if I recall, it was just a few short shows ago when the internet went down in the entire building here, and we did 80%
Found a way to get
from our phone.
Yeah. We did a whole KMA show. Like I wasn't there, but there was a whole KMA show done from the Davidoff store on a cell phone once.
No, worse. Yeah, it was a cell phone. Was it a cell phone? Yeah, cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the show goes on, guys.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely.
From a guy who comes from blow or show business, he really doesn't have that, the show must go on attitude.
Yep.
He really doesn't. Cooper, the Sarge wanted me to make sure that I said hello.
Yes.
Oh, hello to the Sarge. Absolutely.
Yes.
Good man.
There
I like some of the reviews he's been doing, by the way. I want to give him some props on that. Good. I mean, he's got a really good palate. You can see that.
And he writes well for a lunkhead kind of guy.
Writes really well, yeah.
Guy writes really well.
I got to give him the props. Good job he did, yeah.
If people aren't sure what we're talking about, Eli Sarge Vidal, who's actually watching the show right now, he has become like the official smoke-in reviewer of cigars. So, and kudos to us for nabbing him because he was just doing it anyway.
Right.
He really was. He was kind of doing it on his own, and we just kind of adopted him into the family. So, very fortunate for us.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job. I want to give him some props on that.
Speaking of which, just kind of on this topic, we have a little problem, Abe. Okay. You made a post this morning, right, about our smoke-in social climb to 5,000, right?
Yep.
So here's my problem, right? Your post says we have 5,955 members.
Yes.
Or 4,950. When I look at it currently on desktop, it says we have 4,981 members.
Hey, that's why I keep getting different numbers.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Well, that post is from the utility.
Right.
It's from the administrative utilities, but I don't know where it pulls it from. I know where you're looking at. You're looking at the front.
Just go to when I go to the members tab.
Yeah, you're looking at what everybody else would see.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what number we're going to count. Yeah, I mean, I agree, Alan. I wouldn't consider, Paul's Long Island Ducks career a career at showbiz.
Yeah, it says we're only 21 away. I don't know why.
19, actually.
I think I know why.
Why?
Because it's including 62 unavailable members, maybe. I don't know what that means. Maybe people who left Facebook.
Where do you see that?
If you scroll down, see how it says got 62 unavailable members?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means.
Okay.
Not sure what unavailable means, but that could be the discrepancy. Goat Tumblr. Yeah, we're got to come up with something to do when we hit 5,000. If you don't know what we're talking about, we have a smoking social group now going on 2.5 years. And we are in the very near reaches of reaching our 5,000 member mark, which is pretty amazing considering we probably declined over 2,500 plus people. So other than they were just bots or scammers or not legitimate cigar enthusiasts. So, we try to keep shills and stuff like that out of the group. So
Great group. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. And, I think we've all experienced it in groups that we've been in, how they sometimes will go amok and go awry, and there's a lot of drama. And it takes a lot of work. It really does on everybody's part.
I don't have one. That's why I don't have one.
Yeah, to maintain a group, it really does. But we don't mind it. We love it. It's part of our job and it's part of our lives. So it's something we enjoy doing. It's not really that much of a burden.
Real quick. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm authorizing this. Paul's here in the background. I don't know if he's going to get on or not. But you know what? Everybody, send Paul DeGracco, bomb his Facebook Messenger with whatever wild pick you can think of. Send it to me. Somebody will win something. That's I'm just going to go from there. Bomb Paul. Bomb him away. Blow his Facebook Messenger up. We don't want him here yet. Blow his Facebook Messenger up. Get it going. Torture him throughout his New York trip, and somebody will win something.
Send
I'm just
pictures of
going
Alan
for it.
Rubin. I mean,
Can you hear me?
What?
who?
Okay, good. All right.
Who is that?
Oh my God. Sorry. Listen. I'm in my childhood home, and the Wi-Fi don't work so well since I haven't lived here.
Don't you go there every year?
I do, and I don't know what it. Listen, and I tried. I was like, screw it. At like 9:45, I'm like, the internet's not working, so I'm just gonna do my mobile hotspot. Well, StreamYard has a thing where it won't let you join through a mobile hotspot because it's not fast enough. Thanks, Chris. Listen, I think I've been on every show except for maybe one.
In what?
You
The
see,
past 3 weeks?
Hold on. This is the delirium I
What's
deal
the stretch?
with.
Wait. What is this stretch you're referring to? The last 3
What's
weeks?
stretch?
Yeah,
3 weeks.
probably
Yeah.
3 or 4 weeks.
And we didn't have
weeks.
one.
We took a
We
week.
didn't have one last
You
week.
took a week off.
I lead a busy life. Well, my wife does. I just follow along.
So
Oh, my
Cooper,
Yes.
fresh off of PCA, how was the compound?
Oh,
The
yeah.
compound was. We had a really good compound this year. We were down in Henderson, which is a little further out, but I would say this was one of our better compounds we had. We didn't have a lot of people. We didn't really have people over this time, so it wasn't.
Because you had Cracker Jacks. No one wanted to fucking come.
Listen. No, here's the deal. The Cracker
Look at that
Jacks
stutter.
played a
Look
key
at that
role.
stutter.
No, the Cracker Jacks played a key role because we watched the All-Star game and we were all eating the Cracker Jacks, and that's nothing more American than watching a baseball game having Cracker Jacks. But we did, by the way, we got Cracker Jacks and it wasn't a challenge, by the way. We found them right away. Walked into a store, we bought several bags of them and brought them back.
There
It
we
was
go.
easy. It was no
boxes?
problem finding Cracker
You're
Jacks.
you're still hung up on this. I admit I'm wrong. They're not that hard to find. It doesn't change them from sucking.
We enjoyed them.
Let me ask you this though:
Coop doesn't let it go.
Are bags like officially the new boxes? Do boxes no longer get produced? Do we know?
From what I understand, they do. The bags are the primary mechanism,
No,
but
Tom Jordan sent us a case of boxes.
But they do have some, but it's just not the primary one anymore. But they do have the boxes.
I was at the Marlins game last week. I should have taken a picture, but they only had bags. They did not have boxes at all. Like I thought they'd have those little skinny boxes, but they had bags.
They do, but I think they're just more limited when they make them now. I'll say this. I have had trouble finding the boxes. So that I will say, I have not found the boxes.
Tim Ballou, let me tell you because I'm actually very proud of this mug. Right, I'm very proud of this mug. So this is a Stanley. So listen. I'm very proud of this, and I'll tell you why. So I was at Dick's Sporting Goods one day, right? And I was at the counter, and the guy was like, "Hey, man, we're selling these mugs 20% off. All the straws are bent." And then he slipped up, right? And he said to me, we can't sell them. I said, "Oh, well, how much is the tumbler?" He said, "It's usually $32. I said, "You can't sell them?" He's like, "No, man, we can't sell them like that." I said, "Well, I'll take one at 50% off." He did a little thing, called his manager. He said, "Okay, 50% off." So I got myself a Stanley mug for $17, which is a little bit crazy.
You and all the TikTok and Instagram.
Listen, bro, in
white
retail, you can't tell someone, especially where I can't sell it. I'm not giving 20%. My ass.
Right,
You can't sell it. I'll give you what you paid for it at best. That's my rant.
My wife has about 6 of those. That's all the Instagram chicks have their Stanley tumblers everywhere now. It's the new Yeti.
I'm surprised I didn't see it on the PCA coverage, considering it all went
changes
TikTok
all
this year.
time. Hydro flasks, Yetis, Stanley Cups.
But see, here's
the ice cold. I don't care what the.
But right, I agree. It keeps it cold, but here's the problem with it. So we have these water bottles, whatever they are. I don't know. Take you. They're like some off-brand. But the kids are all over the place. We keep them on the floor because we keep them with us everywhere. The kids knock them over. They don't spill. Now I got this 40-ounce Stanley tumbler hanging around the house. Every time the kids walk by it or the dog hits it, the thing knocks over. There's a pound of water. There's 40 ounces of water all over my floor. We literally had a solution to spilling water bottles in my house. But now we have these Stanley tumblers everywhere. I refuse to use them. I want the spill proof. I got kids. I got a puppy. I
never even heard of it until now.
I gotta say, Abe, I've never heard of this till today.
Oh,
yep. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Look for these Instagram model blonde white chicks that are doing all the trendy things. The Stanley Cup is like the new hot thing.
I hate Instagram.
All of them have to
and I
have
hate
it,
TikTok.
and in different colors.
I don't understand where in the world they get off.
That's right.
Selling these cups for like $40-something.
I
freaking
agree.
mug. I mean, man.
Yeah, for $30, $40.
Get them for free.
I can tell you where they get off on it. Idiots pay for it.
Yeah,
I don't pay. By the way, I don't. Have you ever pay? I don't pay for Yetis or anything like that. I get too many of them for free.
If not for the fact that I got this guy down for half off, there's no way.
I get that, and I get that too. Yeah,
hey man, 20. What is that? $15? That's worth it. $15. I'm all right with that.
Sure. It was a moral victory. I mean, it's the only reason I bought it. So.
That's what it was.
Yeah. I out
Now you have
retailed the
that
retailer.
as your trophy for your victory.
So, Coop.
Yes.
This came up last night during my dojo broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the second time I've heard it, though I've yet to really have it verified.
Right.
Is the show really in New Orleans 5 years straight?
Well, if the dojo guys were at the press conference, which they weren't, okay, they would know it's not.
That's what I said.
Because the question was asked in the press conference. They said it's a 1-year deal, is what they told us. Now, do they maybe have an option to extend? I'm sure there's probably an option, right? But they are not locked in for 5 years. And this was said by the way, I confirmed it outside of the press conference with people I trust on the board. But that story was floating around the trade show after the press conference. So I don't know where that came from.
Well, Eric did admit he wasn't there. So he only heard it from another source. But
yeah.
Yeah,
no, we asked the question at the press conference. Yeah.
So they're moving the show to New Orleans for next year?
Yes.
That
was announced.
Not next year.
The year after.
Oh.
Next year's in April.
And it'll be amidst the French Quarter Festival, which draws 1 million people.
Yeah, next year it's up against Palm Sunday, which I know maybe isn't a big deal, but where I live, it's a big deal. So, this scheduling stuff, there's always this is what we went back and you and I talked about, Abe. It doesn't matter when you move it. There's gonna be something.
Sure.
You're
just gonna have a problem no matter what.
Look, I agree. There's always something, but there is something to not inconveniencing the people who actually do go by scheduling it when there's going to be an additional 1 million people
in the city. Yeah,
in the city. I mean,
how do you not do the home like that? And by the way, I did not know that till just now.
Especially 1 million. It's 1 million people of insanity too. It's
of insanity.
Yeah, it's
in
like
a city, and that city's not that big.
It's not
They're
like
going to jam
Vegas.
these people in the French Quarter.
Yep.
So
I seriously may not go that year.
I can't blame you.
It's going to be too chaos.
And it's funny because you said you would have liked to, if it being in New Orleans, you would have.
I don't mind it being in New Orleans at all. I like.
You said you would have liked to make a vacation out of it because your kids really loved it, but
I can't anymore now because it's not in the summer. It had been in the summer still.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so now is this going to be it moving forward? It's going to be in April.
Yes.
Every year. Okay.
Yes.
It'll be in April every year until enough people bitch
about it. Yeah.
About it. Attendance starts to drop. They'll freak out because they won't say maybe just the show could be better. Changing the date may solve our problem.
Yeah.
And they may change the date again.
The whole reason why they are locked now into New Orleans is because they made this decision to move the trade show from the summer to the spring. And what happened is in 2025, they did not have an option in Las Vegas to have the trade show in the spring.
Okay.
So that's why they had to go back to a city of New Orleans, which basically has one of the most restrictive smoking bans in the country. And, that now they're having the trade show. Now, I do believe they've negotiated some things, which there's going to be some areas and stuff to smoke, but it's not going to be great. I'm just going to say it. And
so you're not going to be able to smoke on the trade floor?
No, you will. You will.
Yeah, they did a thing.
So that's a great question, Alice, and I was just going to ask that.
It was in Orlando. I don't know,
right?
8
Way
years
back,
ago,
right?
9 years ago. No, 8, 9 years.
11 years ago.
Was it 11 now? Jesus.
2012. Yeah.
Ugh. It was in Orlando, and then it was in Tampa early. Probably another 10 years before that. Tampa would be very welcoming. Orlando, so.
I don't know about the smoking in Orlando.
I would still take Orlando over New Orleans.
So before we get too deep into it, I want to. So Abe and Cooper there. Paul and I were not there. I just want to ask Abe and Coop a couple of general questions.
Yep.
Right? So I'll start with Abe. Abe, what did you like best about the show this year?
As opposed to any other year?
Whatever. What did you like best about it this year? Anything?
So a couple things, not big things. I like the later starts and later finishes. I think it's very logical for the trade show. Trade show doors used to open like at 9 o'clock for people. And now the mainstream comes in at 11.
Oh, that's way better.
Yeah, and it closes at 6 instead of 5. You don't like that, Coop? You're shaking your head.
It causes problems for us with the media.
Oh, fuck the media, dude. The whole universe is
my job. That's my job.
Well, then the media does what the media's got to do. You want the whole world to bend for the media? Get the fuck out of here.
Hey,
we're not
we're in a 9 to 5 world here. 9 to 5 world. Get up at 9 to 5 and do the straight show at 9 to 5.
With all due respect,
yeah,
I'm part of the media. This ain't about the media. The media's here to cover what they need to do, and it makes for much better business. Guys are being cocktailed and taking out to dinners at 2 or 3 in the morning and getting up at 8 to be on the show floor at 9.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
No, you just said it. We're going out to dinner at 9 o'clock because this thing's now late. You just said that. I mean, it's exactly the problem it's causing.
No one ever makes it back to their room even before like midnight, 2 a.m. Vegas makes for late night, the circle bar. You're socializing because you're not doing that much socializing on the floor. So it all happens after dinner anyways. And no one should bend to accommodate the media.
We should.
There's not one retail, not as far as changing the schematics of the show. Yeah. You accommodate the media by getting them in, getting them time, but not to change the logistics of a show to accommodate media. It's absolutely ridiculous. You're stuck in a bubble.
It's too
sometimes.
Late. 9 to 5 is business hours. I go.
Coop, you sound like an old man.
Business. I go to trade shows in my day job. Paul, you go to trade shows. What time do trade shows start, Paul?
Unfortunately, your opinion doesn't mean shit. Every retailer I spoke to,
that's the answer I get all the time.
every retailer I spoke to likes it. So why
they like it because they want to have Bar Luca time at night. That's why they like it.
That's what we want. Listen,
listen.
No, listen, because this is naivety once again.
Well, wait a minute. Let me
Whether any of the media shows up there or not doesn't stop the PCA show from happening.
No, it doesn't. But then they bitch when they don't get covered. Then they bitch when they don't get that covered.
That the show
you didn't come see me at your booths. Yeah, that's what happens then.
All right, let me chime in here and look at normal
reel this in, Alex.
Normal circumstances. I tend to try my best not to agree with Abe. I do. I do. I like to be the antagonist. With that being said, my day job is literally 10 to 6. And most of the cigar shops I know don't open until 10. So
Some
I feel like
don't
10
open until 11.
So I feel like 10 o'clock is kind of a normal thing in this business.
And,
I mean, my day job's 10 to 6. That's my
It's 11, but we're going 11. Yeah, Alex. That's the problem. It's 11 now. 10 is we always lived with 10. Now it's 11.
Listen, to go along what Alex is saying, like
Yeah.
use me as an example because I go to trade shows. I go to digital marketing trade shows. It's the same. I mean, without the cigars, it's the same vibe as what Abe's talking about, right? Like we go on the trade show floor, maybe for an hour a day. But the trade show floor of the last show I went to, which is the largest in my industry, opened. I can double check, but I believe it was 10 a.m.
But
And
yeah,
it ran
we're
from
talking
10
11
to
a.m.
5.
It's not 10 a.m. We're talking 11 a.m. This trade show opens.
I know,
That's why I
but
keep
Coop,
going back.
what Abe is saying is
Yeah.
right. Like all
First
of
off,
my
the
deals,
hold
all
on,
of
hold
my
on,
meetings were at
Hold on
the
and bullshit you. The majority of people got on at 10 because the only prerequisite that you didn't get on at 10 is if you didn't stay at the convention hotel. So that was just an incentive. You didn't stay at the convention hotel, you came in 11, everybody else came in at 10. So it was 10 o'clock. The majority of people came in at 10 o'clock because the majority of people do stay at the convention hotel. But the whole world needs to change to accommodate William Cooper. It's
11,
just,
but again, 11 o'clock
it's
start is
just
too
so
late.
silly.
It's an 11 o'clock start is ridiculous.
Coop
Because then
needs
you
a 6:30 p.m.
10
dinner.
to 5 was fine, Abe. I agree with you guys. 10 to 5 was what it used to be. Now it's 11 to 6 or 10 to 6.
Look, maybe
6
you
o'clock
can
is too
cry and
late. That's the
bitch about
problem.
everything. The PCA
No.
wouldn't feel like they have to do media because
Look,
they're not
here's what I'll
complaining
say.
about
Here's
it.
what I'll say. Here's what I'll say, Abe. Okay, fair comment. When that trade show when I hear the complaints every year, oh, you didn't come to my booth, right? I don't want to hear the complaints then from people. I'll agree with everything you said, but don't come and complain to me that we didn't come to your booth.
Coop, but you have the same amount of time. It's just different hours.
All right.
I mean, really, did that argument make any sense? Am I the only one in the room? Did that make any sense?
No, because there's other things we sometimes have to do and not
Good. You
necessarily
got a
end at
couple more
6.
extra hours in the morning to get that shit done, and then go do what you got to do. Coop, you're not making any sense.
No, you're wrong on this, Abe, because you don't. I would love for you to follow us along for a day, and then you'd understand. If someone wants to
follow me
follow
along for a day, and then maybe you'd have a clue. Once again, we're the people the show's there for.
Hey,
we're
do
there
you
for this
spend the
too.
whole
Our job's
day
the
on
same. I put ourselves. We're there too for different reasons.
Cooper.
Yeah.
The show is not for the media. The show is for the retailers. It's made for the retailers. If the retailers don't come,
I know every retailer's gonna hate me.
If
It's for
the
both.
retailers don't come, there is no media for you to cover.
But
Guess what
It's an
happens
added
if you don't
bonus to
come?
have the media there.
We
They're-
still
you're
got a
welcome.
show.
Well, depends on you have an expo.
All right.
Wait,
Cooper.
Abe, do you spend the whole day on the trade show floor?
Yeah.
You don't have to answer that. Cooper.
Yeah. We'll reel it in. Let's reel this in.
What did you, of course he takes it as an opportunity to disappear. What did you like best?
Why is that comment even allowed on there? I mean, if I don't, that's unacceptable. Put that comment.
I'll block him out.
Come on, man. Come
I
on,
didn't put
man.
it
I
up.
mean, that really.
Hold on. Take it easy. In my defense, I was trying to click on risky,
After me, come on.
but the thing scrolls up, and I kind of said it first.
It does. Right.
No. Yeah, I was trying to click on Risky's comment. Abe is right, which is right
It
above
moves.
that comment.
It moves
It
on you. That
moves.
does happen
But-
sometimes.
Okay.
But-
I mean,
But I did say that live
Yeah.
in Reflex, so I apologize for that.
no,
But-
it was different. It's different, Dave.
Yeah, I did say it live, but
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. I accidentally.
I know
clicked
what you
on
said. No, it's good. We're cool with that. But I don't think a
I'll give
comment like
him
that
a
should be
warning.
allowed to
Coop.
go
Don't
up.
worry. I'll
Yeah,
give him a warning.
okay.
All right. So, Cooper,
Yeah.
what did you like best about this year's trade show?
There was nothing.
Time out.
There was
Time out.
nothing-
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Hold on. Hold your thought.
I think,
Wait, aren't you currently working the floor, Robert? Do you need a checklist of duties that you need to do right now?
I think
Because obviously you have
I
time
think
to be
I think he's
commenting.
talking about your shit breaks.
Well, if he's talking about my ship breaks 10 to 10:09, isn't it? It's at least 10
Robert-
to
No,
15.
it's not.
Robert's
It's at
really.
least-
I still think of Robert as the new guy, but he's not.
It's at
And
least
he-
10 to 10:15. I apologize. Now, Coop, go ahead. Favorite thing
I think
about the show.
I think the big thing that they changed with the show this year that I thought was a big improvement was what we call people call day zero, which is the day before the actual trade show opens. I think they added better seminars. I think this was the best set of seminars we've had. I think moving the opening meeting, which was an 8 a.m. breakfast, which I can understand being very early for people, moving that to the day zero thing, I think worked out extremely well. They had the premiere of Hand Rolled. Toscano did a seminar. There was a seminar with Placencia, Casada, and Christian Aroa. So I think that they had the opening party. Was well attended, although I don't think it was well organized. But they need to. By the way, the opening party needs to consult Abe how to avoid lines. I'll just say that. But overall, I thought day zero was a big improvement, and I think they can build on that for future years.
I don't really attend day zero, so I can't comment on day zero. I mean, I think I did like 15 years ago. But honestly, there really wasn't much difference between the show last year and this year.
I agree with you
I
on
mean,
that.
it was the same things. And I mean, look, once again, my check-in was a clusterfuck. Not the end of the world, but they had it all wrong and it was annoying. And actually, someone from the PCA had to come and actually just tell the woman to give me my shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
And
Of
then
all the
and then
people.
and then there's still look. It was nice to see Chaz Palminteri there. It's nice to
He
see
was great.
Hollywood. It was nice to see Hollywood starting to get a little bit back more involved in the cigar lifestyle and
Yep.
culture. That's always a plus. Guy was there, so it was a little bit more exciting in that. But it still feels like a dead floor when you're walking around. It's just so quiet. One of the things Alex will tell you when I walk out of this office, if I got to go up front for anything in the bathroom, the first thing, like I don't make it 10 steps before I say, "Why is there no sound in here?"
Right.
Because the crew forgot to turn on the background music or the noise.
Right, or
just
the
still
fans
feel-
are blowing louder than
Right. It just still feels a little dead. So, I mean, I can't really say there was anything like great or fabulous. Once again, I am the fan of the later hours.
All right, so wait. So that leads to my next question, which is biggest dislike. And you can go if you're saying last year's show was the same as this year, so then just but
The one thing, I don't think it was a dislike, but I think it's a failure, which I've noticed a lot this year because, and I hope Jay Davis is watching because I was meaning to talk to him about this. There was a lot of new people there last year. It's one of the things I talked about. And there was a lot of new people this year. And what I noticed, it was really funny because Nick Melillo and I we were coming back from something late night and we caught him in the lobby hallway, and we ended up talking, like standing there for about 45 minutes. And it's funny because he said to me, "Well, that's not the PCA's job." I'm like, "Wait a second, that's exactly their job."
Yeah.
Is no one really prepared these new people. There was new people that were there that were just completely unprepared. Like one company had no order forms, no ability to take orders, no sales sheets, nothing. Another company's packaging didn't come on time, whatever, so they had nothing to show. And if these guys are going to spend all their money, get a booth, come out there, look, I went to Kevin Hart show, all right, and I got an email. I'll show it to you. It's like 2 pages long with all the facts you need to know before you go to the
well, I
concert.
mean, wait,
Don't do this, don't do
that's
that.
not the
Yeah, they
that's
should
not
give
the
them
PCA's job. That's what,
Yeah, they're the trade organization. They're there to help
I
the
mean,
trade.
that would
If you're coming
that-
in, they should provide you an informative sheet. Hey,
I mean, that would look.
listen.
That would be like us getting a new vendor to the Great Smoke and not giving them any information on what to do and how to operate.
which is, okay,
Yeah.
once again, my point.
Which
It
is
their
right. That's
job.
what that's
Yeah.
absolutely.
No, I think,
Yeah,
well,
the
Nick
email
just didn't
spec
think
sheet.
about it. As soon as I said it's exactly their job, he started laughing. He's like, "Yeah, you're right." But they should make a fact sheet, how to prepare, what to bring, what you do's and don'ts of your first trade show. If you're
Yeah.
waiting on last minute packaging, make a plan B because 9 out of 10 times you won't get it in time. Just give these guys a heads up. And I think that's really something they really should do, because you don't want somebody who's actually coming out trying to be part of this industry and culture have such an awful first-time experience. I mean, granted, most people will just blame themselves, but the more chance you give them success, the better it's going to be for them, the trade show, and the industry.
All right, Cooper.
All right,
Biggest,
so I'll go from the media. I'll go from the media end so Abe can beat me up, but I think he might agree with me on this one. So the big problem is that Look, we pay money every year as media to go to the trade show, and I have no problem writing a check to take my team there. But there are guys who go to the trade show as quote-unquote media, and what do? They go to a manufacturer and get a badge, and they walk in for free. And they're allowed to do the same thing I do. And I could tell you it's starting to become some people now are starting to really get upset about this in the media and on some of the manufacturer engines. Again, it's not fair that I have to write the check and these other people don't. I don't understand why that's allowed to continue to happen.
Yeah. I don't know if your parents ever sat down and said this to you. Maybe it's time you hear it. Life's not fair.
I
No, let me tell you something, Alex. Hold on.
Yeah,
there are retailers that do it. Hold on. I'm going to tell you the truth. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
There are retailers that have been doing this since the beginning of time. Yes or no?
I trust your answer. Yes on it.
I don't think that makes the point, though.
No, but hold on. Why? Listen to me. You're not ever going to stop that. We get that at the Great Smoke, Alex. We get consumers that'll latch on to some manufacturer. I see consumers there. What are you doing here? Oh, yeah, I came in with so-and-so.
Yeah, but Abe, we'll make the fucking call after the show and say, yo, don't bring that damn guy next year.
Yeah.
He ain't working. He's walking around like, you know?
I get it. But half the time, this is an unstoppable. Listen, I'm just telling you once again.
I don't know if there's a solution to it. I agree with you on that.
This is the exact same thing that we talked about when I was on the board 15 years ago. This is not a problem. It's going to go away, man. It's just not. There are retailers who are bypassing the process. There are consumers who are coming into the show under manufacturers' guides. I got news for you, man. There are manufacturers who are suit bagging it every year at the trade show.
Oh, that's always that. Yeah.
These are manufacturers who are coming in to talk about their goods and wares who didn't even get a booth showing their shit out of a freaking duffel bag. So how can you prevent that? That's my point. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
I don't know if you can.
I'm not saying it's right. At the end of the day, I know I'm doing what's right. So I live with myself. Why are there so many
manufacturer badges given out? I mean, that's what I every year. All these manufacturers have an excess amount of badges. It seems like why not reduce some of the badges?
You want to know why?
Why?
Because it's a revenue stream for them.
Because they get the block of the size of the booth in terms of the amount of badges.
Not just that, Coop. I don't know. I can't speak if they still do this or not.
Right.
But up until at least a few years ago that I know of, I was allowed so many badges per door, that I had registered with the PCA.
Right.
But if I needed extra, I could buy them.
That's what that's.
I don't know if they're still doing that. I can't speak to whether they still do that or not. But I mean, I don't want you to misunderstand me, Coop.
No, I
understand
what you're saying a little more.
I'm not saying this is a right thing, and I'm not saying it's really a shitty thing. But I can't complain about something or get caught up or whine about something. It's literally like been there since the beginning of time.
But I can imagine it's getting more prevalent with the
it's getting more prevalent because now you have more of the influences out there. Yeah, that's where it's becoming a little more of a problem.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is it bother you more that you've paid and they didn't, or do you feel realistically that they're taking up some time that's making it harder for you to get to people?
So the answer is more the first part, right? Because I understand the second part. You may have a retailer
which is what I
who wants
thought,
to take a video or something.
If Billy Bob Joe tried to get a hold of Pete Johnson, he ain't going to get the time of day. But if you walk up to Pete Johnson, he's going to stop what he's doing to talk to you.
Right. But
that's fair too. I got to pay to get it.
Absolutely, that's what he gets. That's what he gets for being legitimate. But that's what he gets for being legitimate, paying his dues, and having the tenure that he has.
Yeah.
He gets instant respectability when he's on the floor. He gets into the people want to talk to him. So that guy who nobody fucking knows, doesn't want to be legitimate, he's talking to Ferdinando Petit Rodriguez and nobody knows who's there for one day and happy to get 30 seconds time with that guy.
Yeah. And look, there is some benefits of having a media stripe. Like when the line was at the opening event, right? I needed to get some photos, right? I wasn't waiting online for an hour and a half. I went and talked to someone. I said, "Hey, can I take some photos?" They let me in to take the photos. And that was, but I wasn't up there kind of taking people's place. I was just standing a little behind them, taking the photos. And then when it came to Chaz Palminteri, it was the same deal. Look, the media guys got to get up there and do the interview. So There are benefits to that, you know.
So that guy that has a badge from manufacturer can't just go up to Chaz, make an appointment, and then come back whenever he wants. He's got to wait online like everybody else.
I can't say that. There may be some bigger bigger retailers that can get on there. All I know is that we saw Dean Parsons and we saw the line, and Dean just said, "Hey, look, I want you. I don't want to miss you guys. Come up and talk to Chaz now." And we kept it quick too, so we didn't, But yeah, that happens sometimes.
But that's why I'm saying it shouldn't bother you so much. For that,
It's the money thing that's bothering us more.
Yeah, that people are always going to find a way to scam them money. So Alex just got a cup for half price.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That wasn't a scam, bro. There's no world where you don't take the same tactic.
Absolutely.
You cannot tell me if there's any words that a retailer should never say on this is "we can't sell this."
Right.
Okay? I did not scam that guy. He scammed himself. He got out retailed that day.
Coop, how different is the media badge from the regular badge? Does it literally just say media on it? Is it a different color?
It's like a ribbon you get. You get a ribbon, you put it on your lanyard.
Okay.
I can on the break. I'll come back and I have it hanging on the wall there. I'll put it on the break. I'll show you guys.
Well, I'm just saying because a lot of the events that I've gone to, you can't interview these celebrities that show up to these trade shows unless you're media, right? So like,
right.
They have but like at the shows that I go to, it's like a yellow badge that looks different.
We had a yellow ribbon. Yeah. But that's what I mean. When I asked to go take the pictures, this is when the line was for Guy Fieri and stuff. They saw I had a media stripe, and it was no problem. Go do it. I wasn't like interfering with I wasn't trying to get the free stuff that everyone was getting beforehand.
I mean, listen, should the PCA be in charge of saying like they have people on the floor? I'm assuming event staff.
Nobody's on the floors checking badges because the problem is hold on.
They gotta know.
The board members are retailers. They're all out working doing their shit, most of them.
Yeah. But don't they have a staff? They don't hire day of event staff that just checks the
They don't really have. They had it. They've had it a couple times, but not to the. I know what you're talking about, Paul. Not to the extent that you would think.
Because I would imagine that the PCA Trade Show is larger in general than the trade shows that I go to. Because our stuff is like affiliate marketing and like direct response email.
Are you talking about footprint or people?
Yeah, footprint and people.
Before the pandemic, I think the trade show floor was 2 to 3 times the size.
Yeah, I agree. It was. Remember when they used to have those?
I could not even see the other end.
Yeah.
Now I can literally see wall to wall to wall.
Really?
Well, they used to have alternative. People forget they used to have alternative products at this trade.
The hookah, that,
and that was
25%.
Yeah, and that's when they made the decision not to have those folks there anymore. That's when you started to see a lot less people on the floor.
Right. Well, that was a large amount of people because that was an up and coming, trending, booming business.
So
I got news for you. Drew Estate was making hookah tobacco at one point.
Hookah kind of disappeared, right? Yeah. It used to be everywhere in South Florida.
Listen, coming from a culture that I've seen it my whole life,
right?
At the end of the day, the problem with the hookah is it's too much goddamn work.
It's a pain in the ass. Yeah,
it's only fun if you go to a lounge or a bar and you got a guy who sits there and takes care of it.
100%.
Right. 100%. And for a cigar shop, it's not worth paying a guy because you literally have to pay a guy just to do that all day.
Yes.
And keep shit lit.
It's not portable.
Cleaning it is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. My father-in-law.
It's a clusterfuck.
My stepfather-in-law down here is from Pakistan, and he has a hookah. When they have a big party at the house, he likes to take it out. But he literally says to me, he's like, "This is like a full-time job taking care of this thing with everybody sitting around." Like at the convenience of going to like a hookah bar, like you're saying, is that everything is taken care of for you. You just sit back and enjoy it. So I get it. Yeah. I don't know. I have to see this trade show one day because, like Coop said, like I've been to a lot of trade shows in my day, and I really only go to one a year now. But like event staff at the one I was just at in Vegas, there had to be at any given time 60 to 70 people in like the teal shirts that were event staff. When you're coming down the escalator, they're checking your badge to make sure because people will bring.
You couldn't find a staff person if your life depended on it.
Wow.
You know how they say, Paul? And I know you're talking about, hey, go this, like they direct you in the right direction. There's almost none of that.
The only thing they have is 2 or 3 people at the front gate, just checking, making sure that you're coming in at your proper time, and then 1 person at the door when everybody's leaving to make sure no one walks out with a cigar.
I mean, that's poor event management.
And that's event staff. That's the hall staff.
Yep.
That's people who work for the Sands Expo.
All right. So next question, Abe.
Yep.
Standout booth.
Ooh.
By decor or design, or just like by popularity at the time?
Whatever.
I think the people who made big waves. I mean, look, Saka's booth was full, but it was Saka, and everybody wants to see him. There was a couple highlights, I think, that people stopped and were very interactive. I think a lot of people stopped to look at the Anarchy NFT. Pete had put the display right on the corner of a major thoroughfare, so it was impossible to be at the show and not have walked by it at one point. And I think the other big hit was the La Polina shoes. They had 2 guys hand painting, designing custom shoes for people, and
that's cool.
And people got into it. They were taking off their shoes and putting these shoes on and walking with them. And then of course when Guy and Chaz came on, that was
what about creative though? Like what, like the most creative booth? Because I saw a couple that I thought were really
all
unique.
the booths have shrunk down. Like even the Altadis booth there this year,
very small this year.
So,
yeah,
very cool though. And what's really funny is we kind of talked about it because I didn't even know it was part of Altus. So Altus had a corner, and believe me, like I think this is their TPE booth, but like Altus's little mini booth is bigger than probably 50 to 60% of the people's booths at the trade show. I mean, it was not like but it's still for them. It was like a little macrocosm, and then there was an aisleway, and then they had this shoe shine barbershop, but I walked by it for days, didn't even know it was Altus because they had this big H. Upman logo on this big table bar area, but they put a sofa in front of it. So you couldn't see the logo.
Oh, okay.
And I was literally telling Raphael, I mean, why didn't you hang something up in the air? And he told me what it cost to hang the big Altus thing. And I said, dude, next time just get helium balloons.
That's bad. If a company like Altus is telling you we ain't spending the money to hang,
Well, I mean, I could see because the Barbie area was a little itty bitty booth, so I mean, it really wouldn't make sense for them to do it. But that was cool. And let me tell you something. That kid, I looked him up on Instagram. This guy does most of the Raiders, most of the athletes in Las Vegas. He does stars and whatever. And that kid was amazing. He really was good. It was kind of cool.
The shave.
He shaved my head and lined up my beard while I was sitting there. So that was kind of cool and fun. But I didn't, as a show downsizing the days of the Drew Estate bridges and, stuff like that, it's not going to be as prevalent. And, of course, El Septimo had their $10 million ashtray and whatnot, but
couldn't get any help at that booth. Could get anyone to talk to me at that booth.
Cooper, what was your standout booth?
It's probably the booth. I think they do a really good job for the product that they sell, and that's the United Cigars Selected Tobacco booth. I mean, they sell some very high-end products under there, and it's very much has a luxury feel boost to it.
Those are 2 booths.
It's the Selected Tobacco piece I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're talking the Selected Tobaccos, but that's the same booth as last year. So
it is the same booth. It is the same booth as last year. Yeah, but it really stands out for a luxury product. Now, as far as a new booth goes, I thought the Don Doroteo booth was a really nice booth that they set up. They had a little miniature soil farm there. They had the Andulio. They had the Andulio pods. I think Garrett and his team did a nice job with that booth. I know we all talked about that was a big surprise for us as far as that goes. I thought also, it's different. Some companies change their booth every year, and sometimes it's nicer than others. I thought EP Carrillo had a pretty nice booth this year too. I just thought the product was very well laid out this year on it. I didn't think it was as nice last year. So,
from pictures,
was that a new booth for CLE Asylum?
I think it was a tweaked design off last year.
It looked nice.
It looked very nice. Yeah, it was it was spacious. It wasn't. The products were well laid out, I thought.
Yep.
Which was good. So they were really easy to see with that.
I think it may have been Dojo that posted it. I don't remember, or maybe Matt Tobacco. But somebody had a booth, a manufacturer, where it was an RV. Like
that was Wildfire. Wildfire Cigar Company. He had an RV, and they actually won the best small booth award.
It looked cool.
It was a little different. I mean, he's kind of the guy who runs that company. He used to work for Caldwell. It kind of fits his personality. He's kind of like an RV type of guy and very, bare bones thing. But it was actually, I thought it was a pretty cool booth.
It looked like it was set up. It was set up nicely. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember who posted it, but they did like a tour of it, going inside and stuff. I feel like that. I wasn't familiar with the brand, but
All right.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So my last one. You don't have to name the manufacturer if you don't want, but you can give me the issue. Booth that needs work. Which one?
Yeah. So I won't say their name, but
yeah, you don't have to give names.
When I was getting the shave, the problem is with getting a shave, you get pinned.
You're stuck. Yeah,
you stop moving. So this one company kid came up to me. I won't say the name. I'll tell you later, Coop, if you want.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Look, will you please come by our booth? I just want you to look at our stuff and whatever." I'm like, and then he starts pitching me the ratings. I said, and I literally told him, I said, "Dude, every single company here has got a rating from somebody. You know, I mean, it really doesn't. But we this, And I kind of tried to give him the nice, gentle, like, I really don't want to stop by your booth, but he wouldn't let it go. I said, listen, let me finish my business here, and then I'll come by. I literally went there. I must have been 10 feet from the booth, and I didn't know it was there. So he kind of had this, like, no backdrop, open format. Like, the little jewelry counters, like the little 4-foot, 6-foot jewelry counter. He had, like, one facing this way, one facing this way, and one facing this way. And I literally walked by him 3 times, and he had just the cigars in the case.
No signage.
No signage, and then I saw the cigar packaging, and we joke about this. I have a graphics background, and then I even learned more about the guys here. But if you're using Old English as a typeface, man, you've kind of lost it right out of the gate. I mean, Old English is not what you want to use as a typeface. Alan was there too. Everybody was coming up to me, like, I really pinpointed me when I was getting a shave. But, it was bad. It was bad. I mean, I don't know if he does well business. It was a brand that maybe if I've come across my ears once or twice. But if I ever had an inkling of maybe carrying the brand, going and seeing them and seeing at the trade show and listening to them, it turned me off. Because if you're too in love with your own product, and I see this a lot, they're just so in love with what they've done that they think that that's all they have to do. I've made this amazing work of art. The world is going to come out of the cornfields and come to me, and it just doesn't work.
I don't need to draw you in. I don't.
Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. There's too many good cigars. Look, I can't remember who I had the conversation with. I said to him, "Don't you think there's a lot of good cigars here?" And the trade show goes, "No." I said, "No, wait a second. There's a difference between cigars you don't like and cigars that are not good, right?" I mean, there's a bit, and when I said that, I was like, "Oh no, well, yeah, you're right." Because listen, man, just because I don't like the flavor doesn't mean it's a bad shit cigar. I'm calling bad shit cigar if it's construction, burn. They look like they're using garbage tobacco, but I'm not going to call it a bad shit cigar. I mean, outside of a very putrid taste that 99% of people are going to taste it, which doesn't really happen that often. But there's a lot of cigars I just don't like, but I know people that love them.
Listen, we've even had that, and we were like, "Oh man." This came
right?
and people liked it, so that's completely subjective.
Alex and I smoked one of the Connoisseur Club blends to the point where we called the manufacturer and said, was there something wrong?
Happened? Right.
We were scared to send this out to the group, and I mean, there were a few people who didn't like it, but we were overwhelmed. We're like, holy cow, they're saying they like the cigar.
They like it. People bought it 5 packs after. Right?
Yeah,
you never know.
It's subjective.
So that's subjective.
So there's not really bad cigars being made. There's not a lot of bad cigars being made. There's a lot of good cigars being made. So now what? And I think
that's the ante into the game. Right?
I think the young companies have a hard time breaking that barrier of I've made something that I believe is special, and that's enough. And it's not. And that's the hardest part about me going to the show. I'm literally telling you, I was dragged 3 or 4 times during the show. And I walk looking at the ground. I mean, somebody said something, "Hey, if you see somebody." I literally walk looking at the ground. I try not to make eye contact.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
I don't want to be put in those situations but I get bombarded with them, and it's very seldom. Like I mentioned something, and Tim wants me to talk about it, but I won't talk about them yet because they haven't smoked their cigars yet.
Right,
but there's one group of guys, and Alex will smoke them next week. I got a bag of them here. There was a couple group of guys that did the same thing. I was really in Steve Saka's booth. I think it was the morning I made the Cutter video, and he grabbed me and said, "Please come to our booth. I've been watching you for years. I love what you're doing. I respect you as a retailer. I really like to hear what you had to say." And I'm doing the fucking dread walk, thinking, here it goes again. I was impressed. Their booth looked good. I'll tell you who it is after the show too. Their booth looked good. They seemed like reasonable guys. They seemed like logical guys. When I gave them my opinion on shit, they kind of understood and were like, wow, yeah, I get that. And their product, their cigars look good. I haven't smoked them yet. I literally got them right here. I plan on smoking them. Their cigars look clean. They look good. The packaging looked good outside of one critique, which I gave them, and I saw the light bulbs go off in their head. And like, oh, yeah, God, he's right. But to be as polished and clean for as young as they are in the company, and then they told me how many active really accounts they had, something's wrong in the equation. And I literally told them that. I said, I don't know what it is. I don't know how you're trying to reach people, how you're trying to attract people, or maybe your cigars just suck, and that's the problem. I mean, I was just straight up honest with him. I haven't smoked. And he's like, well, smoke one now. I said, bro, it's day 4. Like, my mouth is done. I'm not tasting shit today. I'm going to go back, let them sit for a while. I'll smoke them. But if they're good, because he comes down, his mom's in Sarasota here. If they're good, I'm gonna have him come by, because I think this is a brand that we could build and do good things with. I like them as people, which always makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
They seem like intelligent people, so we'll just smoke the cigars and go from there and see how it is. But I don't want to see who it is, Tim, because one is if I don't like him, it makes it bad.
Something.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna wait and find out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Cooper. Same thing. You don't have to name the manufacturer.
Do you want me to name names? Because I will.
I mean, you can.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So
as long as Abe doesn't care.
I have 2 examples. Yeah, I don't think he'll care. But the first example is I'm tired of the Caldwell IKEA booth. Right. So
I didn't even see him.
I'm sure that.
Yeah. And here's the reason why. It's not the knock. Caldwell has such a good, that whole art angle that he has behind his brand. I think it doesn't do well for him, right? I understand he's trying to have a scaled down booth and everything, but it's, I think you could show a lot more with that brand, just having a more simple booth, not this IKEA card table booth. The other one is, and this is a company, a great company. I love their products, and it's always a crowded booth, and that's the problem. It's the Placencia booth. It's time to expand that booth, guys. It's crowded all throughout the trade show. You need a little more room because you have more customers. You need to expand that slightly. It's just too tight every year, and now it's one of the booths that's filled from day 1 till when the show closes.
Did you stop at Placencia, Abe?
I did not. I think Briggs did.
Probably did.
Yeah, a couple times we had to split up because I had a couple projects I had to go work on, and he had a couple appointments. So yeah, I didn't. I walked by it, but I wasn't there to sit and talk with them.
I think there's a time when a company does have to expand their footprint on the floor, and I think they're a good example of it.
I think Steve's at that point.
I think Steve's getting very close to that point too. Yeah, if he's not at it already. I was there on day 4, so it's a little harder to gauge.
Yeah,
I can see day 1 being insane. Yeah.
Well, I think you may see that come New Orleans.
Yeah. I think that's a fair one, though.
I don't think he'll do it next year. But when it comes to the point of having to pay money to haul the shit to another city or just get new shit, he'll probably just get new shit at that point.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that video you did with him.
You stop.
With
the vibrating thing?
What are you doing?
Oh, I am tapping the mic.
Oh my God. I really enjoyed that video you did with him on the Cutter. It was actually really cool.
The Cutter was, and that was actually a really informative, because we've only seen stills mostly of the Cutter.
And we really knew nothing about it other than obviously it's going to be a high quality Cutter, but like him walking through like all of the process and all that, like I thought that was a really informative and like just as general knowledge, like somebody like me that likes gadgets and things like that, like there's value to that product. It's really cool. I hope he sells it.
You know what's funny?
Uh-oh.
No, it's just humorous to see Asher behind you. So it's just humorous. I just sent my son out to the car because I was afraid last night that I lost my guillotine cutter.
No.
But it was where I suspected it was. It was in my shoe when I came home. and I put it in the luggage. So I found it. I bought it. I left it in the car. So I go to Asher. I said, look, you know the front area in your car where an ashtray used to be?
Mhm.
It's nothing now. It's like a pocket, right?
Right.
I said, go to my car. There's a black box in the ashtray. And he's looking at me. He's like, what the fuck's an ashtray in a car? Like, he had no idea what I was talking about.
Listen, I got to tell you, I've never seen, and we talked about it. We wound up on the air for 2 hours yesterday during the raffle, but Abe and I went to dinner afterward. Speaking of which, Coop's a Thai guy. We'll have to get him over there.
Very good place.
But Abe was like, legitimately, even after calling his wife, like borderline, like depressed, like, damn, I fucking think if I lost this lighter, this cutter, I've never seen Abe like over a gadget. Like, God, I really, really, really hope I didn't lose this. He was borderline depressed that it was gone.
One, he bought 25 as gifts to give to his, friends and good retail. So it was a gift I just got, and I didn't even fucking get to use it. And I had lost it already. I was really upset.
Yeah, he was legitimately like,
I didn't bring it on the showroom floor. He gave it to me the first day I was there. I didn't bring it on no, he gave it to me the Friday even when we were setting up. I didn't bring it to the showroom floor on purpose because I didn't want to lose it.
Where is it, dude? I'll get it.
Really?
I'll get it during the break. Where is it?
It's in the middle panel. It's either in the thing or whatever. That's my genius son. Anyways, I was really sad. I thought I lost it, but my wife ended up texting me a picture during dinner. I found it, and I'll show you a couple things that maybe didn't watch our video when we come back from break. We got a lot more to talk about in hour 2, folks. Please don't go anywhere. Fun stuff ahead. We'll be back right after this. Keep it lit. Phenomenal. 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 Phenomenal.
My name is Rafael Nodal from Aging Room and Tabacalera, USA. Since I was a little kid, I fell in love with a musical form called sonata. There are many famous sonatas, from fantastic composers and musicians like Beethoven, Liszt, Rachmaninoff, Mozart, and I wanted to have my own sonata. So I dedicated my sonata to Nicaragua, but I didn't write my sonata with musical terms. I composed my sonata with tobacco leaves. I teamed up with my great friend and tobacco master, AJ Fernandez, and together we created these blends. This cigar has subtle notes. It's not aggressive. It has some great flavor, some character, and amazing aroma. So I dedicated my sonata to Nicaragua, the land of volcanoes and lakes. Cheers.
Surgeon General warning: cigars are not a safe alternative to cigarettes.
Honesty agree with the GOAT to tell you about Smokin's Cigar of the Month Club. Alex, tell our fans out there why our club is the best darn club out there.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you why. Because every month I personally handpick 5 premium cigars. No filler, no fluff, no fugazis. These are all premium handmade name brands that you can find in any brick and mortar store in your area. All delivered to your door for $34.95. And our average monthly retail value since the inception of our club has been almost $57. Another great feature of our Cigar of the Month Club, Alex, tell them about the ease of our Cigar of the Month Club. I'll tell you, I hate subscription services. It's always a pain to cancel them, turning them on. We've made it super simple. All you gotta do is log into your account. There's a little green button there. If it's green, you're active. You want to take a break, you're going out of town, simply hit the button and you'll deactivate your membership. Want to turn it back on? The exact same easy process. You can turn it right back on. We've made it that easy for you. Another great feature is our Double Down Club. Alex, tell them about the Double Down Club. We had so many of our members reach out to us who really enjoyed our selections every month that they wanted to know there was a way they can get 2. And we've made that very simple. With a simple check mark, you can get double this great selections every month and Save $10. Does our club have perks? Of course it have perks. You want to tell them about the perks? As a member of our club, every month there's a special discount code where if you like any of the selections, we will offer them to you, so you want to come and get some more, you can get them at a special discounted rate for our Cigar of the Month Club members. And finally, expedited shipping. Tell them how fast we get the stuff out, Alex. We get the stuff out on the 28th of every month. Our membership bills on the 28th, and we get every member's package out on the 28th if it's a shipping day. 5 great reasons on what makes Smoking Cigar of the Month Club the best club out there. Check it out. Peace. Hey, I really appreciate you doing the video with me. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I mean, you didn't let me get a word in, but whatever.
What?
Well, great. It's perfect.
Welcome back. Am I on drugs, or do we not say cut that commercial in lieu of the COTM? He'll get it right one week.
No, that's exactly what we said.
Okay.
Where?
Where? What?
It's in the text.
Hold on. Not even in the text. I think we talked about it live last time you did it. Literally. Anyways, welcome back, everyone. Hour 2, KMA Talk Radio. Best way to start your Saturdays. Here with the gang. To my, I don't know, does everybody see us in the same order? I'm curious.
Yes.
So to my, this would be left, I guess.
Yep.
To my left, we have William the Scoop Cooper. Below me, the man they call the GOAT, Tavella, and somewhere there is our guest guy, whatever his name is. I forget his name.
Special guest host. Hey, before we get into the second hour, I assume Coop is keeping up to date on this. But Coop, did you hear the news about what's going on here on Long Island?
Maybe I have not. Maybe.
So, if any of you know, there was a serial killer on Long Island about, I don't know, 12 or 13 years ago when I still lived here, and they found.
What happened? Did he take Paul out?
I don't know.
Paul got taken out.
Alex.
All right.
Dan wants to know the restaurant. I was obliterated.
Oh, the restaurant. You are obliterated. It is rice, Thai, and Asian fusion, right on Boynton Beach Boulevard. Abe was drunk, but on the ride home, I mean, the man said it was the best duck he ever had.
That I can't remember what the fuck duck I ordered. Crispy orange duck or something. It was
or
delicious.
Honey
Something
duck.
Honey glazed duck. It was
King of the
delicious.
Sea soup is phenomenal. That's always my favorite.
I might go there after here. You want to go to Asian after the show, Asher? Want to go? Yeah, she said yeah, of course.
He won't say no.
Oh,
Great
lucky
spot.
guys.
Great spot.
All
You
right,
and Carmen around? You want to go back?
No, I got to go get a haircut.
Thought you changed the day.
Mm-mm. Oh, I go every 2 weeks instead of every week.
Okay, so she made it back.
There you go.
So this is actually, it's kind of super awesome, kind of even looking box, right? So it's got the little tab, you pull it out, and what I had never seen before, which I thought was pretty wild, is there's your extra blade in the box, which Steve claims you may never, ever, ever, ever need. But you can see I'm trying to get it to focus on look at the edge on that thing. So this thing is some 4-inch blade that is an industrial potato cutter for potato chips. So, I mean, Steve claims he's cut like 2,000 cigars already with his cutter. It's not dull at all. But here's this cutter. And I'll tell you what, I kind of said this on the show. This was a lot. I thought it was going to be a lot more of a block when I was seeing the pictures. This is actually something you can carry in your pocket.
Yeah.
And I know we talked about the magnetic thing, right? So, I mean, so this is all you have to do to pop it up. I mean, just give it a little bit of. That's it. And it's really a firm hold. This thing is not coming out. I know Steve kind of did one of these. There he goes. You can flick it out, but it's pretty sharp. But the cool thing, other than the edges, I forgot what they call this. Grimmel. I learned a new word when they do something like. There's a word, gimping. Thank you, Tim. Gimping. It's called gimping, where they do the edge like this. But I thought it was really cool how he made the plus. So you can see the bevel on this thing right here is bigger than that one. So it gives you really a cigar could sit in there nicely and rest, depending on the gauge of the cigar. But I think consumers are going to, especially if you're a DT&T fan, this is going to be a big hit with people. So
I thought it was cool. I got to see him play with it. I'm not normally a single guillotine guy, but I can see it. I can see it. I can see myself using it.
No, this is going to be one that people definitely use. I think his fans are going to use. I know he's not like selling these off the bat. He's going to use them as promos and giveaways.
He's going to sell them.
I think without doubt.
I mean, think about how many people would buy them.
It's going to be a $350 cutter. It's all made here in the USA, all the parts and everything. So
yeah.
Have you used it yet?
I used it on the showroom floor that day. I cut a Brûlé Blue that I smoked. Like butter. So it's going to be. What happened to the story he was telling? Who was telling the story? What story did we finish?
I was, but Alex took me off. So
the serial killer. The serial killer.
All right. So what happened? Did you find out he was your next door neighbor?
No, like 6 miles away from us. They just arrested the guy yesterday. It was a whole big news scene here.
Oh wow! I didn't hear that.
It's a big deal. He's being charged with three of the murders, and they think that he's responsible for at least 3 more.
What gave him up after 13 years? I assumed he stopped killing in that time.
Well, so listen, they said they if you look through the bail records here, because he tried to post bond immediately, which he's eluded the police for 13 years, so they're not going to let him post bond. But he, I guess his vehicle had been spotted at one point, and it was like a first generation Chevy Avalanche. It had that like plastic piece in the back of the cab. So apparently there's not a lot of those around. They were able to track him down with that. And then they've been surveilling this guy for over a year. There's a task force here to find this guy. They've been surveilling him, and they made a mitochondrial DNA match to hairs found on the bodies with, get this, he has an office. He's an architect. He has an office.
That's what I was
just
looking at this. He's an
architect in Midtown Manhattan, and he was eating pizza one day, walking down Fifth Avenue where his office is, and he took the box and he threw that rest of the crust in a public garbage pail. So they have pictures of him dropping the box, pictures of the box in the garbage pail, and the team ran out, grabbed the box, brought it out to Long Island so that they could do DNA testing on it. They swabbed the pizza crust, and they matched him to a 99.96% match to the hairs found on 3 of the bodies.
Wow.
With his pizza crust that he threw in a public garbage pail. Then they were able to track his cell phone records, and he had like 10 burner cell phones that they were able to track back to him through the victim's cell phone records and all. All the information they have on him. The guy's toast. I mean, it's him, but he's got to obviously go through court and all that stuff.
Wow,
it was unbelievable. We had dinner right by the house yesterday, so Steffi, I did not go. I took the kids back home, but Steffi and her mom went over to like pass the block and see the house. It's like this. I mean, the guy's an architect. He's got this big architectural firm in Manhattan. His house is a dump in Massapequa Park. It's Long Island. Coop knows. Thing's a piece of crap. It's worth like $700,000. I mean, it's literally falling apart. But it's all his neighbors are all surprised. Like, oh, he's a quiet guy. He walks to the train every day, goes to work. Like you'd expect.
That reminds me. There was actually a great documentary series I just watched on Netflix. The Many Faces of Billy Milligan. If you haven't seen it, check it out. He's the first and I think the only guy to get off charges by reason of insanity of personal or multiple personality disorder.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, this guy, it was unbelievable. kind of unassuming. He's a big, tall, very heavy built guy, but it's kind of crazy. It's like rocked Long Island here. The Gilgo Beach Killers. Finally, somebody found the guy. So
on another note, did we perchance run a best of last week?
Yeah, Alex did. I saw it.
How fucking dare you even answer? Yes, I ran a best of last week.
Alex ran it. I saw it.
Nicely done. I've been meaning to ask. I keep forgetting.
You know what's funny? Abe? I'll tell you actually. So I told you I went on a fucking hour-long monologue.
Yeah. Somebody
brought up KMA or something. I went, ooh, speaking of which, that's how I ended my episode. I got to go. I got to get it back.
Well, at least it got done.
Yeah, I got done.
Tail of the tape starting next week?
Carlos. So we have the art. Carlos is working on the video. I can get my list together. Yeah, you guys got to get your list together.
Do we have any intro art for this week, or
we don't have intro? He's working on the video.
Okay.
We do have a Name That Jam.
Well, in that case, let's take a moment to see if any of us this week can name that jam, brought to you by the fine folks at Avo Cigars. Oh, dear Charlie, that was not the first F-bomb. I dropped one way earlier.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he did. All right, listen, all I'm going to say for this week is, without exaggeration, everyone knows this song.
That's too much pressure.
Everyone knows this song.
Those are the toughest ones.
All right, here we go.
Let's hear it.
I know it.
I had trouble hearing it, but because it was. Can you play it again?
Do it again.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't coming in stereo. That's why.
Oh, sorry.
Of course, I don't know it. Yeah.
Really?
I've heard
I
it.
know who the artist is. I don't know if I know the name of the song though. I could sing it.
I don't recognize it at all.
I recognize the music. I've heard this like 1,000 times, and I can't name it.
Can I name the artist? Should I?
They're saying Elvis Viva Las Vegas, which I know that song very, very well. It's it.
Gonna set my soul on fire. That's what it is, I think. Yeah, that's the name of it.
Oh, let's find out.
Is it Viva Las Vegas?
Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
Should have known that one.
Young
Yep.
Elvis.
That was a good one. Like I said, everyone knows that song.
I just didn't recognize that beat.
I knew it was Elvis. I didn't know.
That's
the
more
name of
a
the
song that everybody knows the words, but nobody even thinks about.
And I was thinking something completely. I was going down a completely different angle than Elvis. Yeah.
Well, it's almost got like a.
I was going down a
samba
novelty.
type
I thought maybe it was a novelty type of song. Yeah.
You know, I had an idea I've been meaning to bring up to you. I could bring it up now.
What?
I think for a month we should switch.
And what? Do me?
I do Name That Jam. You do Would You Rather.
We can do that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think you come up with some different ideas and kind of hit different genre music. We should try that for a month.
So we'll start it. Don't start next week because I already had Rivers do next week because
that's fine. We'll start the week after.
Yeah, we'll start the week after. Yeah, I had to have him do.
Yeah, and then we'll try that for a month. See how that goes.
Sure.
Plus, I'm getting bored of doing the Would You Rathers, which I had a great idea for next year.
So Paul, right? We're going to actually need you to do maybe the slightest bit of work. It doesn't help if I have to upload the Name That Jam that Abe picks, and I'm
as long as River sends it to me, I can upload it.
Yes, with you guys, I can't upload it and not see it. So we may need the slightest bit of.
I can do that.
Slightest.
Wait. Right, and if he ain't there, I know how to play it. I can.
Well, you could. Yeah. I mean, play it too without. Seen it. As long as you name it, just name it. That's why.
Uploading is not hard. It just sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Abe, you could probably upload it too.
Show me once. I'll get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was Name That Jam, brought to you by the fine folks at Avo Cigars. And actually a well-picked choice, especially after the show
Really good
this
one.
week. So
Yep.
very, very, very dull. Made a titled motion picture after that one, Coop. Yeah.
You know, it's a shame. Like Name That. It's a shame. You know, if Name That Jam wasn't so good for an entertainment content and people enjoy it, I would try to change it for something else. It really restricts me on YouTube. We get dings. We
have issues.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
the
it
problem.
doesn't stop it. It doesn't take down the video, but it doesn't get it out there as much because
And on the larger scale, when uploading the podcast and other places, we get
sometimes. Spotify gets things. We get dinged all the time.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think it's from the 3-second snippet or it's when we play the reveal?
It's both.
You think it's picking up on a 3-second snippet?
They will. Yeah.
And especially it depends. Like this will get the dinged. It won't. Again, it doesn't affect this at all. But like Prince, it could be a second and a half. You know,
Wow.
especially some of the Beatles stuff like that. You get right away. It picks it up. You know, and it'll just say it's been restricted in some countries, but then it just kind of lowers the outreach of it a little bit because it has a couple things. It doesn't take the video down. We never lost the video due to it. But it's been such a it's been such a fun segment. That's the problem.
We've had at the trade show have to ask people to turn the music down because we got dinged. And actually, Nick Malone had a soundproof area this year because Nick loves his music there. But it has been a problem. We've had to ask booths to shut the music off. And it's not because but Nick Malone had a soundproof area, so it made it easier. But some of these other booths don't have it, and sometimes the music's been so loud it carries over from another booth, and it's a problem.
Wait, what do you mean a soundproof area? He had
an area where the music wasn't blaring in there.
A room. Oh. It was a room, Paul. It was a room.
Yeah. We have those same concerns during the Great Smoke when Kyle's playing.
I was just thinking the same thing.
The crowd, because if maybe we're doing something and it's picking up Kyle playing to the crowd in the background. Yeah.
I'm worried about Drew Estate coming back to the trade show next year because they blast it. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure if you let them know about the media issues of Drew Estate blasting music, I'm sure they'll stop.
I'm sure
Sure.
It's become a problem but it's funny. It's been more like they were less at the show in 2019. This has been much more of a problem in the last 2 or 3 years where it's really been cracked down on. So I don't, that's why in fairness, back then it wasn't as much of a problem.
No, we saw the Hoya booth there, so that was interesting.
I'm smoking the Hoya. There. I'm smoking the Hoya right now, actually. Their new cigar.
Which one? The
great cigar. Great cigar. And by the way, this is actually a highlight I'm having from the show. I'll tell you that.
I tell you what. Well, if you don't bring it up in the news, I'll bring it up. I don't want to bring it up now in case you bring it up in the news. We should all be concerned. Fucking hell.
Why is Alan getting comments up here? It's my question.
He's excited. He's excited. He got to go to the trade show this year. I've never
to go to
seen
Vegas.
So many goddamn selfies from this guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, has your phone blown up, Paul? I haven't had a follow up on it.
Yeah, me neither.
On what are they? Where were they supposed to be?
Messenger.
Me on?
I haven't had any.
The contest.
No, you know what I get blown up on now? All of these groups that I belong to, cigar groups, all different groups, those stupid group chats.
Yes, where it creates a chat. I just leave them.
Out. I exit. Yeah.
Exit
and I exit the group when that happens. Yeah.
Right.
Out of the group when that happens, by the way. Yeah.
I can't leave these groups. I mean, but I leave the chat. Like, there's a way to leave the chat, but somehow it keeps coming back. So I'll get 30 Facebook messages. You know what? I just realized my Facebook is now private since my whole issue. So I wonder if it's in people trying to message you. You know, where you have a separate spot for requests to message you. I wonder. I don't know how to check that.
I think our people failed me today. I didn't get any messages. Sorry. We'll try again.
You didn't give him anything specific.
I know. I was just on a whim, and he was
I
fucking
think
with
you
us.
gave
And
specific, send him a moon him or something. I think you would have had more. You left the two out in the open.
True. We'll try it again sometime.
You got a plethora of news this week, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I have the stuff that we've covered. There's a plethora we haven't gotten to yet either. So
let's go over it all. Let's see what's going on in the cigar industry. It's time to find out what is the scoop with Coop.
Hey, yo, what's my theme music?
The Scoop with Coop. Breaking industry news. Hear it first on KMA Talk Radio and cigar-coop.com.
All right. So, news coming from the trade show. I'll tell you what, we touched on this already, but this was the biggest. This is already in line to be the biggest story read on Cigar Coop this year, and it was the what we reported on the elimination of the final day of the trade show. Trade show going from 3.5 days to 3 days.
How do you feel? How does that affect the media?
It affects it a lot, but it affects it a lot. But here's the thing: I think I was talking to Alex about this before.
Yeah,
I kind of understand it because here's the thing: that last day is a ghost town. So we've used it to cover some of the smaller booths or booths we haven't gotten to. But if people aren't at the booths, it's hard to capture the vibe of it. So I kind of understand them doing this one because again, a dead trade show is not worth covering, in my opinion. Right?
So now having people there, the retailers.
However,
regardless of how it affects, does anybody see the hypocrisy here?
Well, Abe, it's this. We'll talk offline on one thing, but right. But
No,
here's the
because
thing.
listen, I'm going to tell you something. As a retailer, I can tell you this: there hasn't been a trade show that I've been to that I wasn't still working at the closing hour of the show.
I agree. I don't want to see it go away, but I understand it.
But I realize, in an unselfish manner, that the show shouldn't accommodate the half a dozen or dozen guys like me. Most of them are out of there Sunday night to go back to work on Monday. Yeah. Monday's already a slow day, and by Tuesday it is a ghost town.
So let me ask you a question. Just my thinking. But is part of it? Do you think part of the problem is the day it lands on? Like if the trade show went from like Wednesday to Sunday, by Tuesday, I'm getting out of here.
If the trade show was probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
and that half a day was on Sunday, I could leave late Sunday to be back at work, or Monday morning to be back. Either one.
That would make more sense. Yeah.
Here's where I'm
not much. Not much, I don't think, but it would keep people there longer.
So I put this story up on Tuesday night, right? And the reason why I put it up Tuesday night is because there were so many people who were unaware that this decision was made back in when they announced the show was going to New Orleans. It was 1 day less, and not anyone really picked up on it, right? It came up and it started coming up throughout the week. It came up in our media press conference. I don't know why the PCA just didn't come out and say we're getting rid of this half day. I think they would have looked like heroes with it, right, in a lot of people's eyes. They never talked about it.
On the last day, I saw Master Sensei was posting, "This is why this last day is not worth it." Something like that.
It was more that he was like, the PCA needs to do something about it, except he wasn't at the media conference, so he didn't know the decision was already made. Yeah, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong, and I understand that.
Once again, it goes back to, I've been saying it forever, is they need to, the opening gala is great, but they need to tie something up, close off, like a big fucking party on that Tuesday night, and you'd find a lot of people would say.
They don't do that yet.
I've been saying for 15 years they should do a cigar industry roast, something really epic that everybody not only would stay longer for and be there, it would create, I think, more people, if you do it right, would want to go every year because they don't want to miss that.
Some of these digital marketing conferences do like a concert the last night, so they'll have like a big name come and they do a concert / party that last night.
They never do nothing last night, Coop. Never, ever, ever. It
was the night before. It was like the night before they did that.
Or in the middle of the show. Never, ever anything.
Yeah. You're right on that.
And let me tell you something. When they did it, it was company specific.
That was the other problem.
It wasn't the PCA. It was, I think,
an actual
CAO bought. Can't remember who they bought one year. It was a really big band. CAO bought a big band one year. It's
Earth, Wind, and Fire, did I hear?
No. It was shit. Who was it?
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Just about
They are
30.
I
always
thought
the
I heard that
rumor
Earth,
for
Wind,
you
and
for-
Fire was.
It was at the Palm. Who was it, Coop?
Wasn't Kid Rock, was it?
No, it was like, fuck.
I'm
Where's
drawing
all
a
the
blank.
old farts from the industry? Where's Jay Davis when I need him?
Yeah, Charlie Creekmore. He usually throws. He's got them.
Yeah, it
He
was
had
it.
Eddie Money one year, and that was La Paulina did it. Yeah.
No, that was Cigar. Yeah, I remember
Eddie
that.
Money?
No, that was before that. CAO did a fuck. Who was it?
This was before. I remember what you're talking about. And I'm
Yeah,
trying
it
to
was a
remember
big one because they were the first to really bring in a big brand
You
name.
said it was a big name, Eddie Money.
This was bigger than Eddie Money.
Money.
and
Bigger than
38
Eddie Money, yeah. This was
Yeah, and
bigger.
38 Special. Was it Leonard Skinner? It was somebody like that.
Wasn't Tommy Lee, was it?
No, I think it was Leonard Skinner.
ZZ Top?
No, it was. It might. I'm telling you, I think it was Leonard Skinner.
That's a big deal.
Alan Rubin, where the fuck are you now?
Tommy Lee did a cigar aficionado party. That's what that was.
Yeah, no, I think it was. I think CAO brought Leonard Skinner. It was not Alice Cooper. I think I'm gonna find out. I'll post it on KMA. But I think CAO bought Leonard Skinner in. Fuck. Anyways, the point being is it needs to be done by the PCA, not an individual cigar manufacturer. I mean, because what happens with them is, and they're just inviting their customers. This needs to be something that ties in all the manufacturers, and ties in all the retailers, and ties in even some of the consumers who trek out there or want to trek out there for this kind of event. This is what they need to create. They do this on the last day. The whole dynamic of the show changes.
There's some of the festivals like Pro Cigar, Puro Sabor, even the Habanos Festival. They do big things that final night, and no one leaves early because of those things. I mean, for example,
party,
like
yeah.
Pro Cigar, the auction, and it's Michael Herklots. And if you haven't seen Michael Herklots at the auction, it's something people want to see that. It's they make it where you don't want to leave that event. They don't do that with this event. I always said they maybe should have did the half day the first day, and then on that last day you do, like Abe said, you do something big that night where people aren't gonna try to bolt out of town, and then everyone leaves the next day.
If they
do it right, they'll end up wanting to go there for it.
Right.
You
got to bring something compelling to that.
Do they do stuff at night that's like a PCA sponsored something, or is it all parties from manufacturers?
Just the first night, which is not a PCA sponsored something; it's a manufacturer sponsored.
Manufacturer, it was co-manufacturer sponsored this year. Yeah, they don't really do that. They
that
had some
blending
after-hour things this year, but I didn't go to them. So where apparently there was places you can go and smoke, but they weren't like events. You weren't going out. Like people want to go to these things. They want to get free cigars too. They want to get free cigars. They want to smoke. That's what they want to do with these things.
See, but that's where we in my industry, very little business gets done on the trade show floor in our business. It's mostly at the events, or we go to the Circle Bar, or we go to Cosmopolitan, or we go other places, and that's where we network and meet with new potential clients or whatever. Our stuff is not done on the trade show floor, honestly. It's all the events surrounding these shows that we go to. We don't even really need a ticket to go to the trade show floor. We've been talking about that for this coming year. Do we really need a ticket?
My thing's more expo driven in my world, so it's more of an expo than a writing a B2B type of thing.
Right, and
so
some of these things
different.
they'll have Richard Branson speaking, so that's a draw for us to go to see. What's the guy from Shark Tank? Damien. I can't remember his name. The guy from Fubu. He spoke one year. I saw that. The guy that started Lyft, Uber, did a speech another year. It's big names, so that's kind of a draw for people to be on the trade show floor as well. But
I just texted Mickey Pegg, see if he'll remember. It's gonna drive me nuts now.
Can't find it anywhere. That's what I've been doing for.
He was vice president. He was vice president at the time.
Mickey, Mickey
was it the
know.
Eagles? Didn't he? Or that was the concert you went to with him?
They took me to Eagles concert up in Nashville.
Okay.
Wow. All right, what else is going on? Cool.
All right, we got some products that I think are some big things that came out at the trade show. Let's start off with the Perdomo 30th anniversary. That's something that people actually was a year late, but they debuted it at the trade show. There you can see that's the Maduro. They're going with their usual Perdomo formula. There's a Maduro, a Sun-Grown, and a Connecticut. The key thing is Nick is using some very aged tobaccos, 15-year-old aged tobaccos from his farms there. I have not had a chance to smoke this, but I have smoked a prototype of the Sun-Grown when I was down at Perdomo. I think he's got some reasonable price points on this one too. I think this is a $12 to $14 cigar. So that's a very reasonable price point. But the rollout of this is going to be slow. They're starting off with 75 retailers to start with, and a lot of them were like they picked maybe 1 or 2 per state in a lot of cases. So it is going to be a regular production cigar, and they are going to ramp that up right now. Packaging looked really good. Actually, the pictures are nice, but when you see it in person with some of the lighting, it's even nicer, is what I'll say. They did a good job with that.
One thing I got to give credit with Perdomo, they always, even with new releases and special stuff, stay within the reasonably priced range.
They do. I think that this is maybe even some would say it's a little higher for Perdomo, but I think
it is higher for Perdomo, but it's not higher for what we see lately.
Right. I mean, what I've seen coming out there, I mean, and he's going to deliver a good cigar with this. There's no question.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, good job by him on that.
I think Perdomo fans will be very pleased.
I love that guy. I don't know. Every time we have him on, he's just such a cool guy. Just seems like
always there for us. I could just tell you, he's always been there for Cigar Coop. Whenever we've asked for something, and we need something, we need him on a show or whatever, they've always been there for us. Very responsive company.
Let me tell you something. We had the pausers from our socialite group come down for Tom's birthday, and I just thought it'd be nice because once again, you live in Juneau, Alaska. You're not seeing many manufacturers, right?
Right.
I said, hey, listen, I want to take you out for dinner. Is there a manufacturer? And he said, oh, we'd love to have dinner with Nick. And Nick and Janine came up from Miami, had dinner with us, came back to the shop, hung out a little bit.
Hung out at the shop all night, yeah.
Really,
go to dinner. And
that's just doesn't surprise me at all. That's the kind of guy he is, and it was probably a damn good conversation at dinner too.
Booyah!
I can't see it.
Good job, Abe. Abe gets it. Abe.
Wow,
good job. Yeah,
there you go. Listen, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
No, I knew it was a big.
That's not Eddie Money, that's for sure.
No.
Listen, Eddie Money lives like 8 miles away from my parents here. We could get him on the show now if we wanted to.
He's dead.
Oh, did
Eddie
he?
Money
He's
died
from Levittown, right? Oh, he died. I didn't know he died.
I think Eddie Money died. Yeah.
He may be dead. I don't know.
You can't. I'm just Eddie Money.
Cash that check.
Yeah, he died in 2019. He died in 2019, Paul. Sorry.
All right, we can't get him.
Maybe your buddy in Long Island got to him.
Yeah.
Oh God.
What else, Coop?
All right, this one, Abe, I think this one's going to put a little smile on your face. Padron had a new cigar at the trade show. They have, and it's the Padron Black Label, which I know you're very familiar with because folks aren't familiar with it. The Padron Black Label, it's a rarer release, and actually the first one that was ever released was that Padron 89s for Jose Orlando Padron's birthday for Smoke In.
Yeah, it was really funny because we wanted to call it the 90th because we were really celebrating, Jose's 90th birthday, not knowing that they already had that in the works and a big festival for him and whatever. So when the boxes showed up, it said the 89. I'm like, well, alrighty then. we're celebrating 89. 89 it is.
Yeah, you don't question.
Did you guys already talk about while I was not here if the bet? If the
no, we'll get to that in a second. We'll get that in a second. Let me finish this part, and then we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look how excited keepers get it.
Yeah. So the Padron Black. This is a different size that they've introduced. This is a 6 3/4 by 52 torpedo. It's going to be available. That's the natural. There's also a Maduro counterpart that's going to be available for that.
It looks big.
It's a long cigar. They sell it. It's rounded as well, and this one's not going to be cheap. It's going to be $40. And the name of the cigar is the PB97. The PB97 for Padron Black 97. It's for what will be the 97th birthday of Jose and Orlando Padron, but it's going to be, like I said, $40, 10 count boxes. They're trying to get this out by the end of the year.
Possible?
Yep.
Possible.
Meanwhile, they both
They had nothing else to work on.
Well, meanwhile, Padron and Fuente both had the Legend cigar on display at the trade show.
How come I don't have pictures of that?
Because I just did that one this morning. Yeah, I mean, we've been buried with stuff, so I don't have the picture there. I can send you guys a picture if you want, but I'd have to email it.
Is it on Coop?
No, it's not on Coop yet. It's not on Coop yet. Like I said, we were behind on stuff, so.
All right, so get to the goods. Get to the goods. All right.
So we don't know when this is coming out yet.
I actually talked to Carlito about it.
I'm curious to see what he said because we heard stuff, but
according to Carlito, you will have won the bet by a slim margin. But yeah, I still feel confident for some reason.
Abe, look,
I saw a couple things that said October, but a 2-month bump is easy.
No, it's not even October from what Carlito said to me. It's not.
So it's
October.
further out than October. So listen, a month bump is easy to happen. So this is going to come down to the wire. This bet.
Well, I think this absolutely will come down to the wire. My theory was it was never coming out of Father's Day. It was going to be displayed at the trade show one more time. And I always felt that. Now, that being said, look, anything can happen at this point. I'm going to stay confident as well. But, how many times, like Abe, to your credit, how many times have you said to me, about these things, right?
I mean, listen, this bet was way slighted in your favor. You had way more time than I did. I was just confident in my choice. And I even think Steve Socket said it best. If it was one of them, probable. But the fact
I just put a link to the picture, by the way. Yeah.
Two separate entities had to work together to make this happen. It's a little more complicated.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I heard a lot of things. Obviously, the boxes. I think Fuente did the boxes, is what I heard. So they had to get the cigars to there, but we'll see what happens. It's going to go to the wire. This bet.
So between me and you, Carlito was talking about how he kept changing everything, and then he said something.
Cedar. This is an older picture. I think the cedar was removed from these now.
Well, he even said something like, I don't know if I like the gold on the boxes or something like that. I said, you know what? I agree with you, Carlito. I think you should look at that again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Here's a picture without the cedar.
This is two legacy families here. You has to be perfect.
There you go.
Yeah, those look like the older ones, though. I just put a link in there for new. They look slightly different when you look at the newer ones.
Did you look at the one in the Padron booth or the Fuente booth?
Both. I actually both they had.
Was I nuts, or did the Fuente booth look like it was a double set, or they just have two boxes open?
It is a double set. Like when you see the picture, I just kind of.
Those pictures are like the inserts that go into a double set box, right?
But they're like, there's a tray on the left, there's a tray on the right when you open that up.
All right,
that's why the picture I put in the link shows that.
Did you email that to us?
I just put it in the chat.
It's in the fucking chat.
Oh.
It was easy. You just click on it and you could just go right there. But yeah, so it was. They had two. Like I said, they were both in separate booths this year. There was no big unveil, but there you see those are the trays that they have.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what I saw right there. That was out of the looking good.
It is pretty, man.
Yeah. So look, it's going to go right to the wire, this bet. I wouldn't be surprised if it's December, right? So if they're saying November, it could be December. And then, hey, you never know. They were very non-committal, both people, especially the Fuentes. I spoke with Jose. I was speaking with Jose. He had no clue. He was like, to be honest, I don't know when they're going to release it.
Were there any price points discussed?
Nope. We don't know the pricing. We do know that's being distributed through Padron. So Padron, you're going to order that through Padron as opposed to Fuente.
I can see that. You know why?
Because of the distribution.
Yeah, Fuente doesn't have a distribution arm.
Yeah, they'd have to go through Newman with that. So I kind of.
Yeah, let's bring in a third party. I like it now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bring in a third company.
Yeah. So, but I think Fuente worked on the construction of the boxes, is what I heard.
It looks like a Fuente type box
It
with those
does,
lift
yeah,
out
with that
lids.
and
With
the
the
high
with the
gloss.
it's kind of like the Don Carlos anniversary, how the lid
Yep.
kind of lifts out.
Yes.
Or not the
So
lid,
on one
where
side is the
cigar
one that
sits.
Padron blended, and the other side is one Fuente blended. Yeah.
Right.
And you can
Those
see
trays will kind of lift out.
Yep.
Oh, is that how it works? One side blended by Padron, one side blended by Fuente. Okay.
There's two blend. Yeah, there's two cigars.
We've been
Carlito, I know where you been since the initial press.
2
conference
years.
2
years ago.
I thought it was just a joint venture.
No,
Yeah.
Carlito's blending Padron's cigar, and Padron's blending Carlito's cigar.
Yeah.
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
What else you got going on?
We got some STG releases at the show. I'll kind of just go through them quickly. The first one is they did announce a fine and rare that they're releasing. From what I understand, this one was already being worked on prior to the acquisition. So you can see it's called the BCN 143. It's the same deal. It uses the 10 tobaccos, and this is in a box press format. So packaging is similar to what we've seen in previous years. They went with a green color, which green was like the trendy color this year. So that's going to be released in November. And the price point on those, I believe, are $25 a cigar. $25.99 per cigar, and a total of 2,500 10-count boxes are being released. So you can look forward. They will have that. The other thing that was interesting, I think this was another project that was in the works from Alec Bradley prior to the acquisition, is Post Embargo is coming back with a new blend. So it's the Post Embargo B15. That's a blend that they kind of tried to latch onto that whole Cuba ended the embargo thing, and I don't think it ever took off. But they decided to rework it with a new blend. They tweaked the packaging a bit, so that's something too that was debuted as well. And then there was also a Magic Toast 5th anniversary size in the form of a Perfecto that came out. That I don't have a picture.
Did I
of
lose
that
you?
one yet.
Oh shit! I hit the sound button. I'm like, where the hell did the sound go? Sorry about that.
Yep.
All right. Carry on.
Yep. All right. So that Post Embargo is coming out, and then there's a lot of STG stuff. I'm not going to go through it, but the other one is I'll mention Room 101. Matt Booth did a 14th anniversary cigar. So that's continued something that he's done. Like, that started prior to the acquisition of Room 101. He's doing that cigar with AJ Fernandez. And like I said, that's 14th anniversary one is the 5th year in a row they've done that. So I guess it's going to continue to be an annual thing right now. Pricing set at $13.99. I don't have a release date for that yet. Oh, yeah, I don't have a release date for that one yet. 6x52 Toro folks are interested in that.
Standard.
Dan LeBeau, smoking it as we speak, my friend. Smoking it as we speak, Dan LeBeau. It's a 20th anniversary, courtesy of Abe. Very good.
I like that. I like that cigar. I thought it was a good cigar.
You smoked that Papasaka yet or no?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
It was very good.
It's good. I like it
I
better
liked
than
it
the
better
original.
than I liked it better than Saka Khan.
Yes.
At least that is. Yeah.
Shaka Khan.
Yeah.
Are there any?
What? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was reading the comment out loud. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Coop.
Last thing. This one's from Hoya to Nicaragua. This was a kind of a cool thing. They're introducing a packaging for their Antonio. It's a limited edition packaging. It's called the Power Play Sling Puck, which is basically a box that could be used to play a sling puck game where you try to shoot these pucks into your opponent's side.
I literally bought this so I could take a couple boxes home to my kids.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't understand shut the box. I don't know how that was played.
That's
I don't
a dice
hate
game. Yeah.
Yeah. But this I don't hate. I mean, it's kind of weird to me that like the oldest cigar factory in Nicaragua is now making like games. But I don't hate this, man. I don't hate
this either. I thought it was pretty cool actually. So I mean, it beats throwing your boxes and away or something like that, or giving them away. So, I mean, but the cigars are the Antonio cigars. So there's actually the Antonio Connecticut's in there, as well as the Antonio Grand Reserve is in there as well.
Can I tell you, when I was a kid, my grandfather used to give us all of his cigar boxes because we would keep, like cars in them, toys. I would have loved something like this. That after he's done with the cigars, he gave me this.
At all. Right? I don't hate it.
Yep.
No.
I still have cigar boxes in this closet here that were because my parents are moving out. like that. I'm realizing, oh my God, my grandfather gave me this cigar box how many years ago, that I kept stuff in.
Yep. Don't have the photo of this yet, but this is the Hoya de Nicaragua Cinco de Cinco, which is the 55th anniversary cigar, as well. And you can see green again is the trendy color at the trade show this year. So that cigar is going to be a limited production cigar, meaning it will probably be produced in kind of like what they've done with the Cinco de Cadas, produce it in small batches. So you can expect to see that one. This is a very good cigar, by the way. There is one on the Coop. That is on the Coop website. I should have put that one in there as well. But it's going to be available in 10-count boxes in 5 sizes. But 2 of the sizes, Robusto and Corona Doble, are going to the international market. Toro, Corona Extra, and Robusto Gordo are going to the U.S. market. But this is a very good cigar.
So I got to say I was kind of impressed with Drew Estate. Unless I missed it, they didn't pull the General Cigar Forged move. They were there only.
The Drew Estate logo was in big time.
They did, but they didn't show me any Drew Estate product. They didn't try to sell me.
No, they didn't. They
didn't try to sell me any Drew Estate product. It was strictly Hoya booth.
Right. They didn't show any. They didn't.
And Drew Estate being the distributor of their brand, I don't think it was improper to have their logo up there. But
no, I agree.
They did not show any Drew Estate products. So kudos to them.
Yep, kudos to them. They'll be back next year. Next year in New Orleans, in the Vegas Convention Center.
Yes, I already sent them an email to say I'm really looking forward to the boombox and the huge music. So they were very. Should we tell our H99 story?
Yes,
we got to tell it now.
Yeah, we got it. We got a minute or two to spare. Yeah. Yes. Fuck him.
He could be watching.
I don't care.
So
either do you.
No, I don't. So
Not
I mean, one of the hardest things I try to explain to the guys that work with us because they get so excited is, you don't have to sell a certain product because when they get something in, they just want to sell it. And for me, those products I really want to save that stuff for the guys who really support us all year long. I don't care for the guy who's just going to show up when I get a delivery of this rare or limited product, or this drop, or just Opus X, the famous guys who come up the 3 times a year for an Opus X delivery.
Right. It's much more deserving of the guys who are out here sitting here every Tuesday morning,
who support us all year long, help pay the rent. That's why we don't put that stuff out. So we have this guy who I'm, really wasn't. I don't pay attention about whatever, but I guess my whole team knows all he does is go from shop to shop, and all he buys is anything rare, limited, special, and that's it. And I guess he came to the Drew Estate event that we had during the Great Smoke, and I think they sent us.
No, not during the Great Smoke. It was it was one we had here recently. Grace.
The one we had in West Palm Beach recently.
No, so, it was here. We had it here recently.
Boynton. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember that one. So, he came, him and his wife. And he's in here once a week. It's like he's got to go anywhere out of his way. And then he comes with his wife. So even in our rare and vintage room, we have limit 2 on something. He'll take his 2. Then he'll make his wife come behind him and take her 2. One of those guys.
Yeah.
So we got a very, 3 boxes where they send 3 boxes, H99, 5 boxes, H99. We got a small thing that came with the event order. What are you going to do?
3.
Yeah, 3.
Not even 5. It was 3.
So what are you going to do with
the Super Ancho H99 of the
what are you going to do with that? So what we'll do is we'll probably hold that aside because all I'm going to do is piss off a bunch of people with that, and we'll do a cool socialite drop or something so people kind of get a chance to get something like that, whatever. This guy wrote a scathing email to Drew Estate. Like a scathing 1-page email. Yeah. I'd show it to you, but I don't have it anymore. So he literally wrote a scathing email that they ended up bringing in a room. Jonathan had to read it, and I got a call from them and whatever. And then, Ernie wanted to make sure because we got another upcoming event that they had some there and whatever. And I called Ernie. I said, look, I'm not selling this guy a box of H99s. I don't care where he comes from, who he comes from. There's 150 more deserving people who really want that cigar than this guy who just wants to come for that and leave. He's never bought any one of your other products. You know, it's literally all just the rare stuff. So as I'm reading this letter that was forwarded to us, he happens to walk into our store. So I don't
go cherry pick the vintage room again.
Yeah, he's waiting for our guy to let him in the vintage room. My guy comes in, the guy's outside. I said, really? So I walked out. As soon as I came around the corner, the guy was all smiling and whatever, stuck his hand out to shake my hand, and I handed him his email. And I said, don't bother coming to the event next week in West Palm if you want H99 because there won't be any there. And just walked away. So that was it. It was an interesting story.
That was good. It was good. And deserved, man.
That was good. That was
yeah,
good.
you know, I mean, it's just not, it's, you know, you want to write an email to Drew
Scathing, like something wrong. And then he claimed like he made it sound like they came from like 4 hours away. Dude, you're in here like once a week to cherry pick stuff. So yeah, he's all happy. He puts his hand out, and I literally just said, "Yeah, buddy, here's your email."
What did he say anything?
I walked away. I don't want to get.
You walked away. I was out there and I saw the guy. He was looking at it, and I heard him under his breath going, "Shit, shit, shit, shit," literally to himself. But I mean, come on, man. I mean, you know, come on.
I mean, look, you got, you know, and people don't realize that. And then the cherry pickers, you know, anybody who's in retail, there's guys out there listening, you know it. They get like upset, like they got something coming, and they just don't realize you don't help pay the rent. You don't help pay my staff. You do nothing because the stuff that you want, there's 300 people lined up for, you know, and, you know, those that really kind of don't come here for those reasons, those are the first people I want to have it. It's just the way it works. If you don't get that, then you just don't understand how shit works. So there is that. Is there anything else we need to discuss?
Oh, you got a would you rather?
I do have a would you rather. So let's discuss this real quick before we go. What is, because what are we going to call tough guys here?
What do you mean?
Is it just physically tough guys, or is it just like badass alpha male motherfuckers? Like, would House MD be a tough guy?
I mean, you know, that depends.
Did you
watch?
watch
TV? Physically, no.
Have you ever watched Suits? Would Gabriel Mock's character, Harvey Specter, would that be a tough guy?
I don't know who that is. So I don't think
Harvey
it.
Specter?
I'm not. Me personally am not looking at it as just like, you know, physically tough guys in a fist fight or something like that. You know, I have to probably trim my list down a little bit so it doesn't, you know, contain 10 gangsters. You know what I mean? So
So give me an example of a tough guy that's not physically tough. He doesn't have to be somebody in your top 10. I just want to know where your head's at with this.
How about Joe Pesci?
Yes, like Nicky Santoro in Casino.
But I don't consider him.
You mean the guy who beat the shit out of the fucking Don Rickles on the casino floor?
Yes.
The guy who's killing people. That's not physically tough.
But by stat, I mean he's not fucking Chuck Norris or Jean-Claude Van Damme.
My question is, does being a tough guy require physical toughness, or can you be a mentally tough guy?
I mean, I'd probably go more on the. I mean, if I'm looking at mentally tough guys, it probably includes some type of like intimidation factor.
Yeah, was Walter White a tough guy?
No.
Huh.
No, not to me. Not in my top 10.
I'm trying to find a picture of Don Rickles that Abe loves so much.
On the floor.
Yeah.
I got
All right,
it.
this would be interesting because, like, I you know, for me, it was in my mind, it was more like an alpha male category, you know, more than a physically tough guy.
So wait, are we going physical tough, or are we going alpha male? Or both?
Yeah, we didn't answer it.
I mean, I think
There it is. There it is.
I think there's a difference between an alpha male and a tough guy. I mean, look, Jeff Bezos is an alpha male. I mean, he's not a tough guy.
Right. I think there's a difference. Yeah. Like Archie Bunker is a.
Is anybody listening to it?
Right.
There's over 80 people listening right now, watching right now. Does anybody know the character Harvey Specter from Suits? Would that be a tough guy?
Yes, I do.
I think he's a tough guy. He was a badass motherfucker. But was he physically? I mean, he did box. He didn't.
So we're going by and we're going by character. We're not going by acting.
Yeah, we're going by character.
So it's a character one. Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I would consider Harvey Specter a tough guy. I mean, or badass.
Yeah, I guess that's
badass motherfucker.
A badass falls under tough guy. I don't know the character.
And they could be a villain, and they could be a hero. I mean,
sure,
it could be either one.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Paul, how are you going to do this?
Disney
I feel like it's easy.
No
I feel like
Disney.
it's easy. I feel like it's easy for Paul to go down to Disney. I mean, there's a lot of tough guys, man. I feel like it's just will be one of his better. Disney.
Donald Duck? I mean, come on.
There's gonna be a lot of evil guys, like villains, but yeah.
But that's not tough. Evil's not tough, though. That's what I'm going with.
Some of them are. I don't want to reveal. There's limited.
Okay.
All right. Well, before we go into our final segment, by the way, anybody catch the series on Apple TV, Silo?
I've seen it like advertised, but I haven't watched it.
I liked it. In fact, I went and bought the other 2 books. In fact, I had to buy all 3 books. I had to buy a trilogy because I had to research, because I know this happens sometimes. The first season ended and really where chapter 26 is in the first book. So I have to now keep reading. But I bought all 3 books. Gonna start on them. But yeah, I liked it. Silo was really good if you got Apple TV. Very good.
I need to find a new series. I don't think I don't have Apple TV. Like I have a BritBox subscription, so I can watch the Britcom.
There's Mickey Peg. Where were you when we were dying to figure out who it was? Now he's on. All right, time for. I'm a little out of it. Yeah, all right, it's time to end the show the way we normally do, and to find out from the fine folks, sponsored by the fine folks over at Gurkha Cigars. Would you rather? All right, so here's another perfect example. Would Bobby Axelrod be considered a tough guy?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
Billions. Marissa's one of Marissa's favorite shows.
You think me and fucking Marissa watch TV at the same time?
Billions. No one really.
Alex,
never watched
you're right in the same boat, Alex.
He was a bad motherfucker, Bobby Axelrod. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. So all right, so this is a would you rather. I know what these 2 mooks are going to say. This is really a would you rather, more for everybody still watching the show. So put your comments on, all right? I want no hard feelings. No one's going to get hurt. Just curious. Would you rather see William Cooper or Abe DeBabna win the Padron Fuente bet?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
that's a gimme for me.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a gimme. I have no shot.
You're the anti-Abe.
No,
I have no shot of winning this with the audience,
Yeah,
by the
but
way.
I'm with you, Coop.
Look, Abe is Abe.
Listen,
it
guys,
doesn't
guys,
matter what I had with this
I
bet.
think some people might want to see a cigar come out
If-
earlier.
Guys,
If
who
there
wants
is
to
not a
see-
chance I have
who
with
wants
this.
to see Abe collect another bill? Like, let's be real here. Who
yeah.
wants
I don't
see
want
Abe
to see him
collect
keep
bills?
winning.
We see
Oh,
Abe
I'm
collect
getting some
bills all the
cool.
time. How could you
It
not?
Here's the
wanna
funny thing:
see
it
Abe
doesn't
sign
matter
it?
who they want when they want the cigar.
It's
just
a segment. It's a question. Don't get all.
Okay, no, it's fun. That's I'm all.
Is there a 5-pack for the winner?
Yeah, 5-pack of.
I'm
something.
not gonna.
5-pack of the cigars.
Mitchell gets a.
I lost. Don, you didn't watch the giveaway yesterday. I lost $1 to Sam Phillips at the trade show. Coop review at Abel just go savage. All right. You got some votes
Apes,
there,
but there's
Coop.
some Coops.
You got some Coops there. You got some
Yeah, but
Coops
it was
there.
I had no shot.
Kent will always be Kent.
It's not. It's right. It's not about having a shot or whatever. It's just curious what people. I really thought a lot of people would rather see the cigar come out this year than next year.
I don't think it's about that. I think it's they want to win the bet. They want me to lose. So I mean that's what this is about.
I don't want you to lose.
Because you're so
I'm
great.
in the same boat as Alex. I don't want to see Abe win.
Yeah,
again.
I'm just saying that's
needs
what.
to be knocked
if,
down a
if it
couple
was
pegs.
reversed,
Right.
if we had the reverse positions, Abe would still win. This is what I'm saying. Like, how many people voted for Abe are winning because they want the cigar to be delayed? Like, they think the cigar is going to be
None.
delayed.
None. They're just voting.
None.
Abe.
All right.
That's my point.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's rephrase this question. I know we're going overtime. We'll make this real quick.
Let's go.
Put in the comment, who do you feel is right? Who feels that it will come out before the end of this year? I think more people will side with you on this, Coop.
I think they won't.
No,
I'm
I
not sure on
agree
that
with
either,
Abe.
but
Here's-
that's a question.
I'm kind of with you on this one, Abe.
Yeah, I think you're
As far
right.
as right
but I
now, would I
want
rather
Coop to
see
win.
Coop win? Yes.
Oh, Dan, stop being one of those. You'll be able to get the cigar. Don't worry about it. Jesus.
Dan's still upset. He shot his load on a T-shirt yesterday during the raffle, not the cutter.
Mm.
Abe will get one box of those cigars for the vintage room.
Right.
All right. Well, everybody, that wraps up another episode, number 502 of KMA Talk Radio. We hope you enjoy. We hope you enjoyed another Saturday morning with us. We entertained you, had a lot of fun. Have a safe weekend. We will be back, hopefully Paul too, next week for episode 503. Until then, everyone, please keep it lit.